G'day everybody, and welcome to my very first look at a game called Titan Chasers. So Titan Chaser is developed by one single developer. If I go into here, we can see his name is Stas Shozdak. The music that you're hearing is Krapka Koma, Krapta being Ira Lobanok, Koma being Aliona Kovalenko, and basically I've been into the settings and I don't have an option to turn that sound off and that music off, so I'm not sure whether this is going to get itself a copyright strike on YouTube or not. But I am going to give it a go anyway because I think it's probably worth a look. This game sells for $7.50 Australian dollars on Steam. I will provide a link in the description if you want to check it out as well. It's in very early access and there are quite a few issues with it from reading, but it does have a positive review. Let's see, voice acting Ira Lobanok, additional modelling Sergi I can't pronounce that, I do apologise. Yeah, no option to turn the music down or anything like that is probably a little bit of a problem when it comes to actually putting a series up on YouTube, but we'll see how we go anyway. So I quickly checked the game out. I didn't spend much time in it at all, but I've reset my progress and we will start our experience now. So it doesn't really take that long to load. The game has been created in the Unity engine, which I'm not a huge fan of games that have been created in the Unity engine. I don't think they perform as well and feel as good as what anything in Unreal has been done.
So first night shift, it shouldn't be too hard.
Alright, now you will see what the music in this has been plastered all over the place, and I do understand what the developer is attempting to do in that sense, because these people have created the music for this game, I think pro bono from what I can understand. Now you can purchase the MP3 files as a DLC for this game, and that money goes directly to the musicians. So
they have only one tune for all their facilities. Good one though.
There you go, see, and that's an example of it. Now I've just turned that music off. Come on. There we go.
It's awesome to have water all day without schedule.
So
it's better to save it though.
So when something is activatable or interactable, you see that little light pop up on it, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty good. Now you need to look up, and to look up it just gives you just a basic idea on what the controls are, which is use is the left mouse button, walk is WASD. Look closer, right mouse button. So zoom in, which is pretty standard. That one there looks like an old 53 Chev, but I might be completely wrong about that because I don't know my cars very well. But nice nonetheless. So the premise behind this game is quite simple, and that is that you are a Titan Chaser, and a Titan Chaser is you are in a small town and it is your job to do the night shift every single night and to chase Titans away from the town. Now I know it sounds really bizarre, and it is quite bizarre really, but the concept is pretty good. I think it's great. It's kind of like, I mean, we've all seen Storm Chaser and all that type of stuff.
It's about the size of my apartments in Bright City, and I would be locked there for months now. I'd better keep this job.
Now the interesting thing is that the voice acting is actually pretty cool. You know, it's a pretty cute voice. It's a good accent. The problem is that the sound for the voiceover is very, very low in comparison to everything else. So I'd really like to see that actually boosted. It would make for a much better experience, I think. Okay, so we can't see too much in there. So yeah, that's basically the premise. We go out and we try and chase titans away from the town every single night. Now, there's not too much in the sense of tutorial. There's a little bit, but probably not enough for the initial start of the game. But anyway,
The place seemed creepy when I arrived, so I locked the door. The keys should be around somewhere.
there we go. See, that's a pretty good hint. I mean, that's pretty good. So you can walk around and you can look for the keys. Now I know that they're in here, so
Memory, but at least I'm well organized.
there we go. We'll grab the keys and we will close that. I do like the interaction. I do like the fact that it brings those clues up when you do come over something, the light up and the text as well.
I can't end my shift and go to sleep until I complete my tasks for today. Should be written in a car somewhere.
Okay, so what she means there is that the tasks for tonight are actually written somewhere in the car. It doesn't really clearly state that, whether it's some type of English translation problem. So as you can see, it is a very, very atmospheric game, which adds a lot of interest to the game, I think. And I mean, it's been described by some people as kind of a type of game that you can come into and you can relax, you can drive around and just relax and do your tasks. So there we go. That's a 747, and I'm pretty sure that a 747 would sound a lot louder than that, being that low to the ground, considering that her voice is so low and you're actually her character. So alright, so what we need to do is that's our vehicle. That's our Titan Chaser vehicle. She's an old beast. She's an old beast. But quite fun nonetheless. Okay, so we need to go over to the office for starters. This is the motel that we're staying in, the Grand Rock Motel. The sounds in here are all pretty good. That's pretty good. You come in here and you get blasted with that music again.
Hey Jasper,
which is
with the
everywhere.
atmosphere?
This is Jasper. Jasper doesn't talk at the moment. I'm sure that that's probably something that's going to be added at some point in
Great
time.
talk, as
So
always. Thanks for keeping the keys safe, Jasper.
there we go. Okay, so he's got our car keys, so we can't go anywhere until we get those car keys. We don't have any choice in turning the music off in here, so
I'd
it's
say
on there.
Jasper's creepy if I haven't seen the day shift's workers.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the music is terrible music, because it's not terrible music. It's just I think it probably shouldn't be thrown in your face quite as much. Okay, so you can see out here, just outside the Grand Rock
They
Motel.
don't want me to walk out of the motel without the car. They didn't say why. Spooky.
Yeah, okay, that's a good hint. But you can see some of those graphical issues that you tend to suffer in Unity a lot as well. So we've got some windmills down there. Alright, so let's get into it anyway. As I said, this is a first look of this game, and so I probably will do things like that just to sort of to give you guys an idea so that you can make an informed decision on whether this is something that you want to follow, it's something that you want to support. So open the door for the car.
Smell of old leather, gas, and alcohol. Yep, I love this car. I'll call you Christine from now on.
Christine, yes. No, we don't want to be called Christine. We don't want the car to be Christine. Alright, so this is the car. This is the interior of the car. It's modelled quite well. The dash could be a little bit better. But again, I think half the time that's a bit of a Unity problem, to be honest. You can wind the windows down, which allows you to hear out there a lot better. We've got the handbrake. We have a spotlight here on the top of the car. Now that spotlight we will use a bit later, but the car cannot run with the spotlight on. Here you can put the music on. Now there is the music that we've been hearing, and I think there is also a radio station on it, but I'm not sure. I'm not overly sure as to whether I want to try that. There's a compass down here.
And now to remember, it's not a video game. Arrow points to the north and not towards my target.
So basically that's going to assist us with the map
I
now.
don't know you, Clark, but I'm grateful. Music can save my day. Or night, actually. Also, I hope you left your booze somewhere. I might need it.
Okay, so here's a letter from Clark, who's the previous night shift person that was doing this job. Hey, Clark here. I was driving this car before you. Cool job, but believe me, it gets lonely to drive in silence. So I made a mixtape for you. It's a bunch of relaxed electronic songs and some old radio shows to listen. Have fun. Cheers, Clark. Again, the same type of music from the same people, which is okay. Flip that over, and there is a map of the area that we are in. So we've got Woodville here. We've got Grand Rock, oil fields, woodland plains, and Bright City. Now, at this point in time, and Silent Peak down here, at this point in time, I don't really know where we are on that map because there's no indication as to where we are. So you kind of got to make your own way around and try and figure out where you are. So that's that one. Up here, you will see, excuse me, you will see that this is our task for tonight. We are going to chase a lost wyvern out of the town, or away from the town. It should live at Silent Peak Lighthouse, but it's not there, obviously. It was last seen in Windland Plains. It's attracted to bright blue light. It's afraid of darkness and feels safe on bridges. It's short-sighted. Satellite towers are recommended to use once they are in the wyvern's sight. So that gives us some clues as to what we're supposed to be doing. Now this car, let's start him up. This car is controller compatible. This game is controller compatible so far. As you can see, I'm looking around. We'll turn that on. No, that's the park brake. There we go. I'm not overly sure what this radio is used for. We've got a cheer, and then we've got an SOS. I'm guessing that if we get into any trouble or get stuck or anything like that, we can hit the SOS. So that's all on. Beautiful. And we will head off. Now, I did find when I was trying this out that the physics on the car aren't that great for something that's supposed to be a relaxing drive kind of a game. Also, I did find that you can't, so we've got some signs here: oil fields and Bright City to the right, and Woodland Plains and Woodville Silent Peak to the left. Now if we zoom in on that, there we go. Woodville, Grand Rock, Silent Peak, Wood Plains. So there you go. That kind of gives you an idea of where we are. Alright, so as you can see here, there are there is a bit of terrain.
I guess if I call Jasper from the phone booth, this will become evacuation points instead of Grand Rock. If I stuck somewhere, or when I stuck.
So there is a bit of terrain sticking through the roads in a lot of places, and the roads aren't that well done at the moment. They're pretty sharp. The rises and the highs and the lows are pretty sharp, and the change of gradient is pretty sharp as well. So, but again, it's created by a single developer, and quite honestly, he's done an amazing job of the atmosphere and everything so far, and all these things are going to be fixed. So the service stations here, there are checkpoints, and you go and use the telephone, and that will be a checkpoint, so that if you get into any trouble, you will reset to a checkpoint. So
hey Jasper, checking in from the gas station near the Woodland Plains. Thanks for listening.
there we go. We'll just click on that one there, and I will just give you a quick overview of what I'm talking about in regards to the sharp descents and stuff on the road. You know, they could be a little bit better, but I'm sure that at some point they will be smoothed out. You can actually see that quite well in when we are actually driving. So Alright, so we need to go to Windland Plains. So let's take that off. And Windland Plains are to the left, so we'll look around there, we'll turn left here, and we will head out here. Alright, now again for me, and it might only be me.
Windland Plains, they produce most of the energy for Woodville and Bright City. But I remember frequent shutdowns this time of the year. I wonder, was it because of Titans?
Okay, so initially I was a little bit confused because I can't see. I know that if we look up there and we look at that map, we know that it feels safe on bridges and stuff. So we're probably looking for a bridge. The only thing was that because I can't see and exactly work out where we are on this map, it made it a little bit difficult to work out exactly where I was. So I do know now that, and we'll just look at this for preview's sake of the game. I spent a little bit of time wandering around this area trying to find the Wyvern, but I couldn't find it. If you continue to drive down this road, then you will actually come to a bridge that has the Wyvern on it. So we will head down here. Driving physics, I mean, it drives not too bad with a controller. Some of these corners are a little bit too sharp, I think, and they probably need to be sorted out as well. Can hear the wind coming through the window, which is absolutely awesome. And I will actually just wind that up. There we go, and it's got a lot quieter in the car, so that's brilliant. I love it when developers do that. So I don't know whether you remember, there's a game that's in development at the moment called Storm Chasers, where you drive around and basically chase thunderstorms and cyclones and all that type of stuff, twisters, and that looks pretty interesting. And this game kind of reminds me of that, but it has a little bit more of a sort of a relaxed atmosphere. So, and I think that's what the developer's going for. I might be wrong, but I think the whole idea of coming out here and working at night.
Beautiful. I hope she's not hungry.
There we go. There it is. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the park brake on. We have scared her away, and off she goes. Okay, so you've got a horn there that you can use as well.
She probably flew to another bridge. At least it's the right direction to the Silent Peak.
Okay, excellent. So she's gone to another bridge. The car is still rolling even with the handbrake on. Yeah, and I do believe that the developer might be going for something that is something that you can sort of come home, listen to chilled music, and even if it's the music in the game, and just enjoy your experience in the atmosphere while you're working for the town and clearing off these. You can see this little bit of road here is pretty bad. Working for the town and scaring away these titans, which is pretty cool. But at the same time, it feels like it needs, and I'm not sure whether this is going to happen in the future, but it needs some kind of objective other than scaring off the titans, in the sense of some form of pay management, some sort of, I don't know, I'm not sure. At the moment it feels probably a little bit empty, in the sense of this is it. We drive around here and we look for these titans, and we solve little puzzles to be able to sort of scare the titans away from the town. Alright, we'll go up here. Now I am driving this way because previously I drove, there's another bad piece of road. Previously I drove the other way and it took me forever. with no indication of where I was on the map. It took me forever to figure out where I was. Now we do have that compass down there, so if we there we go. I'll just pull in here like this, put the handbrake on. If we look at that compass there, you can see that north is kind of north is sort of behind us to the left, and we look at the map and we can sort of tell, okay, north is behind us to the left, so we're probably up, maybe, hang on, I'll get the mouse out, that'll probably be easier. We're probably around here somewhere, I would say. Probably around here. So, which I'm guessing that's kind of almost the motelish area somewhere around here. Where that point is, I'm not sure. But it would be nice if it would be a little bit easier to find that stuff out. So we're looking for another bridge, and there's another massive bridge right there. Whoop. Right in front of us there. You can see some of the road is not sitting down on the terrain correctly either. Alright, so here we are. We'll turn left here.
Is it her at the top of the bridge?
Now I would put my handbrake on, but unfortunately, there we go, it's actually holding this time. Alright, so she's at the top of the bridge now. Let's just turn the car off. It does have those things, like I just clicked the engine and it shot me over there after the engine turned off. When you do get in the car, sometimes it actually shoots you looking backwards. So now we've turned this on, so this will go into the spotlight, and we can move the spotlight, as you can see. I'm not sure what role the spotlight plays at this point in time, because it is kind of, it goes into the fog, and I guess that's kind of what it looks like. But and I know that I think light does calm these things down. So so at the moment, yep, we'll get out, we'll leave that spotlight. There's a trunk that you can open here, but we've got nothing to store there. And as you will see, it did say on our note, if we get back in here, into the car, the little triggers there and everything, they actually work quite well, to be honest. It does say satellite towers are recommended to use once they are in the Wyvern's sight. Right? It's afraid of darkness, and it feels safe on bridges. So maybe that's where the spotlight comes in. So let's just pop down here onto this path.
I remember hiking around these satellite dishes with my dad. He told me they're space related, but it's probably something to deal with Titans. So
there you go, the Wyvern's up there, and we need to be getting it.
There were patrols around.
Our goal is to actually continue to guide this up to where the lighthouse is. So
there is enough power for only one tower to work, and the Wyvern is short-sighted. I need to lead only the closest one to her, one at a time.
Okay, there you go. Perfect. Alright, so she said the closest one, which means it's that one over there, which is over the other side of the bridge. So I think we're going to have to make our way around there. Now this is actually as far as I got working it out when I was just having a little bit of a test run. So it's certainly good modelling, isn't it? It's beautiful modelling. Let's get in here, close that, turn our spotlight off, start the engine, and I think we need to go down here and then go right. I have tried to swim in the water, and it just warps you back to the shore, so you can't actually do any swimming or anything in this. So there's another piece of really bad road that will hopefully be sorted out at some point. certainly makes it a little bit difficult to navigate where you're going from in the cockpit view. Alright, here we are. Silent Peak is up this way.
Switch is on the other side? God damn it. Who designed that?
Oh, really? Okay, it sounds like the switch is actually on the other side of the road, so... on the other side of the river. The response to the brakes and stuff, you do need to be really careful near edges like that, because it's not overly responsive to the brakes. So again, if you're going to spend a lot of time driving in this, it's probably worthwhile the developer spending a little bit more time on the physics and the whole driving side of it as well. As well as all of the, there we go over here, as well as all of the road side of it and stuff. So let's see, can we find a spot here somewhere? All right, there you go. So we've actually bummed out there. So yep. That's the kind of thing that really needs to be sorted out, and really should have been sorted out in the beginning. So, alright, so it said that the switch was on the other side. We can't unfortunately get over there in our car at this point in time, so we're going to have to wander. Now, we don't have a flashlight. Having a flashlight would probably be a good thing, although you don't have trouble seeing anything in the game at night and through the fog. So there we go, that's the indication of where it is by those wires running out to the control box. So let's switch that on. There we go, and we'll move the Titan over here. Okay, so now we need to do this one, and this one's over the other side, but we're not going to get our car out. And that's going to be a problem, I think. So let's go back and see if we can use that radio to reset our vehicle, because I'm pretty sure that's what it's for. So we'll head over to do that. Quite honestly, this game is probably going to be a good game once it's completely nutted out and developed. And it'd certainly be something that would be awesome to actually see being developed, and to play when you're looking for something to sort of chill out to. But it'd be nice to see some other aspects added to it. In we go. Let's hit the SOS.
I need evacuation. It's locked. That's some close encounters shit. I wasn't ready for it, but I definitely like it.
Alright, so I don't know what's doing that. But whatever it is, we ended up rolling backwards, so let's start him up again. So because we unlocked that point there, it allowed us to be evacuated to that service station. So it evacuates you to the nearest point to where you are that you've unlocked. Okay, so we'll head back down here. Hopefully we don't get stuck again. We need to activate the third dish, so which is where we're going now. Alright. So some adjustments, being able to do some adjustments yourself on the sensitivities and stuff like that on the controls would be a good one. It looks like this one up here is the one that we are looking for, so look at that. That's okay, there you go. Let's get out of here. Let's open that up, leave the car, and switch that one. There you go, I'll move the Wyvern over to here. So it looks like it's a bit of a hip-hop process there. Well, that one over there looks like it's the next one, and then I'm not sure from there, so but there is a bridge there to get across, so we might be okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one here. And as I leave this one here, I am going to leave it up to you guys as to whether you want to see more of this. It's far from finished. It's far from finished. The atmosphere is fantastic. I like the modelling. I definitely like the modelling. I like the modelling on the car as well. Just going to enter the car and turn it off. I definitely like the modelling on the car as well. It's pretty cool. All in all, it looks, the game looks quite good. However, it does need a lot of work. So, this is Chasing Titans. If you like this one, click like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and you may see some more Chasing Titans, but we'll see how we go. We'll see what the response is. Alright guys, thanks for watching this first look, and I will see you next time.